Acts chapter 12. James killed and Peter imprisoned. About that time Herod the king laid violent hands on some who belonged to the church. He killed James, the brother of John, with a sword, and when he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded to arrest Peter also. This was during the days of unleavened bread. And when he had seized him, he put him in prison, delivering him over to 4 squads of soldiers to guard him, intending that the Passover to bring him out to the people. So Peter was kept in prison, but earnest prayer for him was made to God by the church. So Herod was laying violent hands on many people, but he killed James specifically with a sword. So also, the days of unleavened bread means the Passover. There was 4 squads of soldiers, so there's a lot of people. Peter is rescued. Now when Herod was about to bring him out on that very night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and sentries before the door were guarding the prison. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood next to him, and a light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him, saying, "Get up quickly." And the chains fell off his hands. And the angel said to him, "Dress yourself and put on your sandals." And he did so. And he said to him, "Wrap your cloak around you and follow me." And he went out and followed him. He did not know that what was being done by the angel was real, but thought he was seeing a vision. When he had passed the first and the second guard, they came to the iron gate leading into the city. It opened for them on its own accord, and they went out and went along one street, and immediately the angel left him. When Peter came to himself, he said, "Now I am sure that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from the hand of Herod, from all that the Jewish people were expecting." When he realized this, he went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose other name was Mark, where many gathered together and were praying. And when he knocked at the door at the gateway, a servant girl named Rhoda came to answer. Recognizing Peter's voice, in her joy she did not open the gate, but ran and reported that Peter was standing at the gate. They said to her, "You are out of your mind," but she kept insisting that it was so, and they kept saying, "It is his angel." But Peter continued knocking, and when they opened it, they saw him and were amazed. But motioning to them with his hand to be silent, he described to them how the Lord had brought him out of the prison, and he said, "Tell these things to James and to the brothers." Then he departed and went to another place. Now when day came, there was no little disturbance among the soldiers over what had become of Peter. And after Herod searched for him and did not find him, he examined the sentries and ordered that they should be put to death. Then he went down from Judea to Caesarea and spent time there. So, an angel woke Peter up and freed him. And Peter, not knowing what was happening, he thought it was a vision. He went with the angel, and the angel led him out. And when they went up to the iron gate, it opened by itself. And Peter went to John Mark's mother's house, her name was Mary. Mary was very common. So is John, the name was common. And he was at the gate of the house, and the servant girl was Peter, but she didn't open the door. She was too excited. And they're all like, "No, you're crazy. It must be his angel," which this is used by some people, that the idea of a guardian angel exists in the Bible. That's up for you guys. So when Herod tried taking Peter out and looking for Peter, he did not find him. So Herod killed the soldiers because they were all around Peter, and Peter somehow escaped. The death of Herod. Now Herod was angry with the people of Tyre and Sidon, and they came to him with one accord, and having persuaded Blastus, the king's chamberlain, they asked for peace, because their country depended on the king's country for food. On the appointed day that Herod put on his royal robes, he took his seat upon the throne and delivered an oration to them. And the people were shouting, "The voice of a god and not of a man." Immediately an angel of the Lord struck him down, because he did not give God the glory, and he was eaten by worms and breathed his last. But the word of God increased and multiplied. And Barnabas and Saul returned from Jerusalem when they had completed their service, bringing with them John, whose other name was Mark. So Herod gave an oration, which is a speech, like a royal speech, and the people said that Herod had the voice of a god. But then Herod was struck down by God, because he did not give God the glory. So he pretty much didn't say anything, just that by silence he agreed that yes, he does have the voice of a god. Now, the word of the Lord multiplied. So it's kind of God's clearing a path for them, I would say. So he struck down somebody who was persecuting them, and the word was multiplied. So removing one and adding more to the other side. Now, the king's chamberlain, that means sort of like a advisor, number 2. So that is it for Acts chapter 12. Subscribe, and goodbye.